142, for one, is the fiscally prudent thing to do. Secondly, it is written in such a way that it provides good investment for the state. Now, we're spending somewhere in the neighborhood of $300 to $500 million a year, $3 to $5 billion a year in consulting contracts. That's money that's going from Louisiana, in large part, out to places like New York and other parts of the country. What this bill does is take those consulting dollars and invest them back into the state. Now, the best value that you get for the dollar in terms of consulting dollars are the dollars placed into university faculty, particularly research faculty. Now, I'm from Southern Baton Rouge. We have our sister institution just across town, LSU. The College of Sciences at LSU, just in the past few years, has lost in excess of 40 faculty members. Now, these were individuals who were deeply engaged in research. When they left LSU, they took in excess of $40 million in grant money with them. So you have to ask yourself, is it really a good investment not to be funding higher education at an appropriate level, and a level that's appropriate to bringing in good faculty who are going to bring dollars into the state to the tunes of tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars? And so that's my word. I'd like to say once again, I think House Bill 142 would be the fiscally prudent thing for the state to do.
What I'd like to focus on is what might be called the positive side of the negative that's been brought out by Treasurer Kennedy's bill. If you look around, you see a tremendous faculty turnout for this event. Faculty members prefer the classroom, the library, and the laboratory. They seldom get energized about a political, let alone an accounting matter. But I think that this shows the degree to which Representative Richard's and also Treasurer Kennedy's initiative have given a light of hope to faculty members who have long labored under difficulties and indeed sometimes quite humiliating conditions. Behind me, you might see what could be described as the greatest offensive line in higher education policy. They're not here, to paraphrase not Bruce Springsteen, but Lawrence Welk, because everything is wonderful, wonderful. They're here because things are bad, 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 although they're not able to say that officially. But to stay on this theme of what the good that can come out of HB 142, look at the challenges that can be met with just a little bit more in the way of a revenue stream. We've heard so much about the WISE initiative and what that challenges us to do with regard to the so-called STEM disciplines. Well, we're going to face significant challenges with regard to physics programs, which are declining around this state, and with regard to meeting accreditation. To become an engineer, it's not enough simply to take an engineering curriculum. You need a whole apparatus of teachers, researchers, and people in other disciplines behind that. Think about staffing and recruitment. According to the numbers we've heard today, in approximately 10 years, the LSU A&M campus and probably the rest of them will cease to exist. We're losing 4 faculty members per week. We have an opportunity now to seize at least an initial chance to rebuild both LSU and the universities around the state. Look at the facilities. Do people really want the legislature to think that children need to come out and stage a march in order to encourage their parents to behave in a fiscally responsible way that will keep blocks of concrete from falling on their heads? Think about the resources that we have in this state. I know a colleague on my campus who is unable to complete a research project that includes an expert or an author whose surname begins with a letter in the alphabet after the letter M, because we can only afford half the database. So if you want to be an expert on A through M, fine, but if you're in an area that covers N through Z, you can forget it. One of the great things about the Richard and Kennedy approach is that it is a creative initiative. The universities are about creativity. They're about coming up with new ideas. They're about giving people, not only professors, not only students, but all the citizens of Louisiana hope. That is what this proposal has done, and done in a big and indeed unprecedented way. I've been in this room talking about such initiatives as the LaPerk Commission and half a dozen other commissions after that. Nothing has drawn out so many faculty members and administrators all at once as this initiative. I therefore, on behalf of the 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 faculty members in this state, urge a positive vote.
I don't know how you're going to vote on this bill. I ask you to please vote favorably. I know this has never been tried before, but the impossible is sometimes just often the untried. Whether you pass it or not, I want to thank Chairman Jack Donahue for his leadership and for his insight and for helping us get this bill in a posture. I want to thank all of y'all with whom I've spoken with your constructive suggestions, and I want to thank President Lario for his insight as well. And I would appreciate it if y'all would give this a shot. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Senator White moves that we report House Bill 142 as amended favorable. Do I have an objection to that? Hearing no objection, House Bill 142 is reported as amended. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I mean that. And thank all of you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, members. Appreciate it.
It's been a long haul. This was the 4th year that we brought this bill. We're not there yet, but we're on our way, I think. When I worked on the setting up an Office of Debt Recovery from Louisiana, that one took us 6 years to do it, to get an office set up who would actually collect money that's owed the state. But this one's taken 4 years. It's been a long, hard journey. We're not there yet. We've got to have it passed by the Senate, and then we're going to have to convince the governor to sign the bill. But this was a real breakthrough today. I mean, this was a committee that has rejected this bill 3 times. We've never had a problem in the House. The House has passed this bill unanimously 4 times. Every Democrat, every Republican from all parts of the state in the House of Representatives has voted for this bill for 4 years in a row. But we always bog down in the Senate Finance Committee. Today we had a major breakthrough. We had a unanimous vote, but this time it was to pass the bill after we amended it to make some changes that I think we're all comfortable with. It's not a perfect bill, but it will save taxpayer money and redirect it to higher education. Again, we've got to pass the Senate floor, but I'm optimistic, but I'm going to work very hard to try to get the votes. This bill is based on sound conservative principles, and it's based on the fact that we have to do something to help our universities in this state. They can't operate, they can't educate our kids without money. I've also got to convince the governor to sign the bill, and I'm going to respectfully ask him to give me a chance to plead my case. I know that our governor cares about higher education as much as I do, and hopefully here's a chance together that we can do something to help it. Let me give you some examples of the types of contracts that I'm talking about. These contracts either exist right now or have existed in the recent past, on which we have spent hard-earned taxpayer dollars. Contract number 672113, contract to provide program that will assist students to learn valuable social skills through organized play on their recess and lunch periods. That's with the Oakland, California company. Contract number 708691, inform and educate the Hispanic community in Rapides and Natchitoches Parish of seatbelt usage. Contract number 681869, state sponsorship of chimpanzee discovery days involving broad media attention to observation of chimpanzees in a spacious forestry habitat. And I could go on and on and on. These may be nice things to do depending on your opinion. But I know this, if taxpayers in this state knew that their money was being spent on this kind of stuff instead of their universities, they'd be rioting in the streets. This bill is going to try to help stop this abuse of taxpayer money.